What's the difference between codependency and victim mindset? The things that they have in common are that there are both personality styles, that's kind of the way you develop your sense of who you are, how you function in relationships, and how you function in the world. The differences are big though. Codependency, the real definition is of a lack of a relationship with your own self. In codependency, you have no me. You are all about rescuing and fixing and protecting and enabling and pleasing someone else. You don't have boundaries. You are a people pleaser. You can't identify what you need or what you want. There's no me. There's no me in codependency, all right? You're selfless, not in a biblical way. You're selfless in that you haven't developed a sense of yourself, your own worth, your own value, your own mind, your own needs, your own wants, your own boundaries. And so you are dependent on someone else to give you your sense of meaning. And we usually do that if you're codependent as a lifestyle through fixing, rescuing, enabling, people pleasing, taking care of, right? Victim mindset isn't know me. Victim mindset is poor me. Poor me. Poor me. This happened to me, all right? I can't do it. It's too hard. I'm helpless. I'm powerless. I don't take any ownership over what happened to me. It's just poor me. So where a codependent is overly responsible for everybody's happiness, it's all my fault, right? It's all my fault that you're unhappy. I have to fix you. It's all my fault that you feel the way you do. I'm so sorry. What can I do to make it better? That's the codependence mindset. The victim mindset is it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. It just happened to me, right? So it's a very different mindset where you're always taking responsibility or avoiding responsibility. The codependent overly takes responsibility, and the person who's the victim mindset doesn't take enough responsibility. There are people who are victimized by others. That doesn't necessarily mean they have victim mindset. In fact, many of them do not. A victim of rape, they can say, poor me, this happened to me, it's not fair, and it's not. That's not victim mindset, that's reality. But if 20 years later, I can't get a job because I was raped, I can't balance my checkbook because I was raped, I can't function as an adult because I was raped, that's victim mindset. It's letting something that happened to you become your identity. Victim mindset is I'm powerless, I'm helpless to change because of what happened to me. It's everybody else's fault but what happened to me, and I can't do anything about it. And so an owner says, wait a minute, I was raped? What do I need to do to protect myself in the future? What do I need to do to get healthy? That's taking ownership of what happened to me. It's not my fault. When we talk about ownership, it doesn't mean you're saying it's my fault I was raped or in a marriage that was violent toward me. It means it's my responsibility to steward me. And if I'm falling apart over what happened to me, then I'm going to take ownership and say, I've got to fix that. I've got to fix that. They're not going to fix that for me. And here's where I see many, 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 many Christian good women falling into two destructive personality types, destructive to you, destructive to your life, destructive to your life story. Codependents tend to try to rescue people in victim mindset because that gives us a sense of purpose and value. And then there's women who are in victim mindset that they have been victims or they've never learned that they have power. Joseph was a victim of his brother's treachery. They sold him into slavery. They lied to their dad that he was dead. They didn't like their younger brother. They were jealous of him, and they wanted to get rid of him. And then Joseph tried to make the best of a bad situation. He was a slave, but he was a smart slave, and so he rose to power, and he was second in command in Potiphar's household. But he was a good-looking man, and Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him, and he was an honorable man, and so he said, no thanks. And he gets lied to, accused of sexual abuse, and gets thrown in jail. They say about 15 years he was there. That's a long time to be in jail for a crime you didn't commit. Easy place to learn victim mindset. I was a victim. My brothers did this to me. Now Potiphar did this to me. His wife lied about me. My life is over. Poor, poor, poor me. But that's not the only part of the story of what happened. What happened to Joseph? He got sold into slavery. He got thrown into jail. What's the rest of the story? What did Joseph do with that? How did he write that story? Ruth lost her husband. She lost her means of support. Her aging mother-in-law was also in the same boat. She was widowed twice. She had no sons, no grandsons to take care of her. It was a very patriarchal culture. You needed a man around to take care of you. These were two victims of life circumstances. How did they write the story? Read the book of Ruth. And it says, Ruth decided. She wasn't a victim. She was a victim, but she didn't have victim mindset. She had agency, which means I am going to decide what I'm going to do with what happens to me. You see, the victim mindset is, oh my gosh, this happened to me. This is horrible, and it might be. The owner mindset is, and what am I going to do about it? Nothing is the victim mindset. Nothing, I can't do anything, I'm helpless, I'm powerless, is the victim mindset. The owner mindset looks around and says, what do I need to learn from this? How can I grow from this? What do I need to change about this? So codependency and victim mindset are not the same thing, but they're both unhealthy. They both lead to bad places. They both lead to destructive relationships, and you want to avoid them at all costs because you don't want to stay stuck and feeling powerless and helpless and not learn to write how you're going to handle your life story.